Harriet Tregoning, the Director of the DC Office of Planning. Welcome to Columbia Heights. This is a great example of one of our traditional row house neighborhoods in the District of Columbia. It's got a lot of charm and character, mature street trees, really wonderful older housing stock with a great roof line and just a lot of charm. But just right in the other direction, we have one of our newest, most bustling shopping districts. So let's find out what makes Columbia Heights a great green place. So right behind me is DC USA, a shopping center that's the result of a collaboration among the District of Columbia government, the developer, and these retailers, as well as community groups, to create what we think is one of the greenest shopping centers in the country. We have a Target, we have a Staples, we have a Best Buy, we have a Bed Bath & Beyond. These were the kinds of stores that Washington residents used to have to leave the district to go to find, and they usually left in cars. So if you can manage to put services where people live or where people work, it can really cut down on how much traveling they have to do by automobile. We've seen some of the great row house fabric that exists around Columbia Heights. A lot of the new buildings have additional height. They're new condos, new apartments, a little bit higher density than the row house neighborhoods that are adjacent. And for a lot of the people that are moving to Columbia Heights, you know, the big amenity is not so much the gym that might be in the basement or the pool that might be in the roof, but it's actually the neighborhood itself and the great public spaces that are here, the great people watching, and all the wonderful convenience. We're standing right now in what is essentially the heart of Columbia Heights. Under construction behind me is the plaza. It's always planned and intended to be this great civic space in the heart of this neighborhood, and it's designed to include mosaics and works of art that are part of and integral to this public space. Some of the programming that we have planned for this plaza includes concert and music performances, as well as farmers markets that are going to be here. You know, this is a neighborhood that's incredibly well served by transit. This is a major bus corridor, but that hasn't even been enough for us. I mean, we've added premium transit service on this corridor. Smart Bike serves this corridor. You know, we have a Green Line metro station. That was really what sparked the renaissance of this neighborhood. In 1968, it was really devastated by riots. And it wasn't until Metro opened, the Green Line metro station opened in the 90s, that interest really began to coalesce around a serious effort to revitalize this neighborhood. There were really a lot of lessons learned by everyone here in Columbia Heights. We learned a lot of lessons about parking. The retailers really expected, these are, after all, many of them big box retailers, that most people would be visiting the stores by automobile. So even though this is an area that was very well served by transit, and we cut our parking requirements in half because of all that transit, we were all surprised to find out that most of the people that do patronize these stores aren't coming by car. That's a lesson we learned. Next time we build a project like this, we're going to cut the parking in half again. I'm standing in front of the historic Tivoli Theater. Many cities have a great theater like this, and Columbia Heights is no exception. This is a particularly beautiful theater, and we're very happy that it was able to be preserved and adaptively reused. It now houses a theater, the Gala Hispanic Theater, but it also houses a dozen additional offices, businesses, and retailers, many of them local, who really enjoy being in this very unique, very historic, beautiful, restored Tivoli building. I think that the Rosetta Stone for any neighborhood is being able to find the right mix of national tenants and national retailers and unique local businesses. And this streetscape here is a reflection of that mix. We have some national credit tenants like national banks, other sorts of national retailers, but we have lots of other local retailers that are only here in Washington, and in some cases only right here in this specific locale. And it makes for a really inviting streetscape, a lot of window shopping. It's a wonderfully welcome distraction. You know, as you're walking to Metro or walking to your bus stop, Seattle did a study that showed that people were willing to walk a quarter mile further if they could be distracted by retail, you know, because it just makes for a much more pleasant walking experience. So this is Councilmember Jim Graham, and he represents this terrific neighborhood. Jim, what can you tell us about the Giant and the affordable housing initiatives here in Columbia Heights?
What we've done here, as you know, Harriet, is we have transformed this neighborhood without losing its fundamental diversity and interest. And this is the key. Columbia Heights has not been cleared out like so many other places in other parts of the world. You know, we have preserved Columbia Heights. So all up and down 14th Street, we not only have kept our low-income buildings, but we have also renovated each and every one of those apartments. Affordable housing is absolutely critical because if people don't have a place to live, that means they visit the neighborhood, to work in the neighborhood, to go home at night. But we want our diversity right here. And Ward 1 is the most diverse ward in the District of Columbia. And we are determined to preserve that which matters and welcome all of our newcomers and our new businesses. I want to give high marks to Giant because they were willing to move away from a suburban model. We said you had the parking lot in front, the store setback, and to do instead elevated parking was a big concession that Giant made.
Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks so much for helping us to come up with a wonderful, revitalized Columbia Heights.
We love Columbia Heights. This is a great, great neighborhood and a great city.
So this has been Columbia Heights, a place with great transit, a place with housing, office, retail, all together. A place where you can walk, you can bike, you have activity 24 hours a day. Is there a great green place like this in your neighborhood?